Red button means we're live, a casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. So, the NBA regular season is officially over. The first couple of playing games are tonight. And as tradition on this platform, at the end of each NBA and NFL regular season, I like to give my award picks, not who I think would win, but who I would pick if the NBA was so gracious enough to give me a ballot. So here we go. Here are my 2025 NBA award winners. Let's start with something I think we can all agree on for Kenny Atkinson as Coach of the Year. What a first season this guy had in Cleveland, taking a roughly 50-win core the last couple of seasons to 64 wins by just reinventing their offensive identity, ball movement, identifiable roles, the number one offense in the league. And some of those metrics are just historic. He squeezed a lot out of guys like Evan Mobley and Darius Garland to the point where Cleveland has gone from first, second round ceiling that we don't really take seriously to, oh, snap, they can win the whole thing. And that's because of Kenny Atkinson's coaching philosophy. Another non-player award, Executive of the Year. Shout out Trajan Langdon. This guy, you want to talk about turning water into wine? In his first season as president of basketball operations, he took the Pistons from the longest losing streak in NBA history to the playoffs. And he did so with moves such as bringing in guys like Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, firing Monty Williams as head coach in favor of JB Bickerstaff. Like, we can talk about Cade Cunningham's improvement all we want as to why the Pistons are where they are. But if Langdon didn't spend money properly, bring in the right supporting cast for Cade, Cade could have proved all he wanted. Detroit would be at the bottom. But thanks to Trajan Langdon, he is my Executive of the Year. Now on to player awards. Let's start with Rookie of the Year. I give it to Stephon Castle. I think we can all agree that this was a pretty underwhelming rookie class. Like, there wasn't anyone who stuck out like a sore thumb, like a Ja or Apollo. This was Jared McCain's award, in my opinion, if he stayed healthy. But if I had to pick one, Stephon Castle, to me, had the best rookie season from start to finish. He led all rookies in total points, field goals made, and steals. I will say, though, Ricochet, the number one pick out of Atlanta, is having a strong end to the season. It's just, at the end of the day, Castle had more opportunities to start, so his entire body of work is just more impressive than Ricochet's. So Castle is my Rookie of the Year. Clutch Player of the Year. To me, no one's been more clutch, no one's been more dependent on in the clutch than Jalen Brunson this season. In the clutch, he finished second in total points, first in field goals made, and by far the highest usage rate. And to be clear, the NBA defines clutch, if you didn't know, as any metric recorded within the final 5 minutes of a game within 5 points. And as someone who experienced it firsthand in Los Angeles when he almost took down LeBron and Luka before he got hurt in those fourth quarters and overtimes, Jalen Brunson has been Captain Clutch. Sixth Man of the Year. I kind of went back and forth on this. Malik Beasley, Peyton Pritchard. But in the end, I gave the edge to Pritchard because he's everything I want in a sixth man. Yes, the Celtics are extremely stacked. They're the freaking defending champs, for crying out loud. But when their starters get subbed out, they still don't miss a beat, and that's because of the shooting and ball handling that Pritchard adds off the bench. Listen to this. In 13 more games off the bench than Beasley, that matters. If we want to determine who's the best rotational player, more games off the bench for your team matters. He leads all bench players in total points. So as much as I can appreciate what Beasley has added in terms of shooting to the Pistons offense this year, Pritchard's scoring output's roughly the same. Then he has more assists, better efficiency, way more games, and he's doing it for, a potential contender. I value that more for my sixth man of the year, so I'm going to give that to Pritchard. Okay, so moving on to most improved player. This is something I would riot if Cade Cunningham won. This award should always go to role players who make unexpected exponential jumps, not face of the franchises who make leaps that we hope they would make. Listen, I always knew Cade was going to be a 23-8 guy for a playoff team. I didn't see this for Dyson Daniels at all. This is someone who went from just a rotational guy in New Orleans to, possible defensive player of the year and a much more confident scorer as a starter for Atlanta. Like, look at his box score. Everything across the board improved, including his minutes by 11, points by a little more than 8, the second largest points per game jump this season, and his steals went up to all the way to 3, which is league leading. He embodies everything that the most improved player stands for, and that's why Dyson Daniels is my guy here. And now to the controversial stuff. Defensive Player of the Year. Miss me with the Draymond Green propaganda, guys. This is Evan Mobley's award. It's the Defensive Player of the Year award, not Defensive Player of March award. everything that you do from start to finish matters, not somebody who just out of nowhere appears on the ballot in the final month. So when I factor that in, Evan Mobley's been the defensive anchor for the best team in the East all season. And when I compare his numbers with Draymond Green, it's advantage Mobley. Better individual defensive rating, better defensive win shares, greater percentage of teams' blocks and rebounds. I'm sorry, just because Draymond Green went on his podcast and lobbied on ESPN for this award, and the Warriors had a little hot streak where they've been an elite defensive team, it doesn't mean that he just steals this from Evan Mobley, who has been the front runner since Victor Wembanyama was so gracious to let other people win on his watch. So Evan Mobley's my defensive player of the year. And now to MVP. I've explained this in length, but again, mine is SGA. He's been the most consistent player this year, and that matters to me. Even when his co-stars have been inconsistent, whether it's due to health or lack of shot making, Shea's elite two-way ability has led the youngest team in the league to 68 wins. That win total right there pretty much almost guarantees you the MVP, which is 18 games over Jokic's Nuggets. Listen, I like Jokic. He's arguably having the best offensive season ever, but he's such a liability on the defensive end that I can't help but think that it costed his team wins. 18 games back from OKC, and Shea has just rarely had a bad game, not someone you can pick on. He's always there for his team, most 30, 40, 50-point games. He's my MVP. But those are my 2025 NBA awards. In summary, I had Kenny Atkinson, Coach of the Year, Trajan Langdon, Executive of the Year, Stephon Castle, Rookie of the Year, Jalen Brunson, Clutch Player of the Year, Dyson Daniels, Most Improved, Evan Mobley, DPOY, and SGA MVP. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social medias to stay updated on all things related to the show. Until next time, see ya.